So I finally managed to get my hands on Amstrad 6128. Now, if you ever try to buy one of these, the first thing you're going to notice is going to be the disk drive's probably not working. So I'm just taking the screws out the back. Luckily they're all crosshead screws, but you notice on the case that one's marked up as long. So just bear that in mind. Don't put that one back in the wrong location, otherwise it will probably come through the front of the case and ruin your lovely case. So just bear in mind there is that one longer one there, and on the bottom of my one it is actually marked up, which is quite nice. So I thought that was just all the screws, but there are these two in the side. So if I just remove them as well, now hopefully the case should open up and I can actually get in there and see what we've got going on. You can see no one's been in here for a long while. So the person I bought it from, person on eBay, I had to meet him in person because obviously it came with a monitor and everything else. So I just had to pull them two ribbon cables out to and they just pressure fit in there. There's no clips or anything. This one has a little clip you need to move out the way to get that off there. Same with this one as well. So just need to push that clip away and then I can pull this out. Okay, now with that top removed, the next thing I want to do is remove this drive. There you can see we've got two screws here. So if I take them two out, then I've got a ribbon cable in the back of it, which I also need to remove. And again, because this hasn't been open for a long time, I'm just having to use a little terminal screwdriver and just to kind of get it started once it's worked its way along the pins a little bit. I mean, there's no corrosion on there or anything, but it's just, again, where it's sat for so many years attached, it's a little bit stiff right now to try and get it out. Again, just gently sort of prying it. That looks like it's got it now. And the next thing I need to do is take the power cable off. So again, that's got like a little retaining clip that you just need to move out of the way so you can then pull that away. So right now, that's all I need is a drive. And you can already see there's bits of the belt coming out of here. Now to get this drive open is a little bit difficult, and I don't really need it all the way open anyway, so I'm just removing these screws just so I can get to that other belt, the inner belt, a little bit better. So all that belt does is drives from the little motor spool to the bigger wheel to obviously turn the disk drive, and yeah, because of its age, it's just completely deteriorated. There's nothing left of it at all. Now this bracket here, I probably didn't need to take this off, but again, this is the first time doing this, and I'm assuming it's very similar to the ZX Spectrum Plus 3 drive. It's a similar drive. This thing here as well, so this is just a retaining clip, which again, I've just kind of freed up. It's odd that they've done it like this, where they've kind of soldered it to the printed circuit board. There's another one there you can see, and all I'm doing, I'm just kind of prying it away so I can get that cable away to give me a little bit more room to play with inside there. So if we look in there, you can see there's the little motor spindle. And also what happens with this, because it's been sitting for so long, it tends to just stick to the spindle. So at this point here, even if I removed all the bits of the drive that I think I've got, I need to basically clean all these as well. But I think, again, it's horrible. There's all these little bits and pieces of belt to try and remove. You see that one, there's a bit of belt there where it's kind of like stuck to the wheel. And I've just freed it there. And it is a little bit of a fiddly job, this one. So now I've got all the bits of the belt removed. The next thing I need to do is just use these Q-tips, and I'm just going to clean up the motor spindle and then the main disc spindle. So again, just make sure I haven't got any residue, because again, potentially one little lump of that old belt could cause a misalignment and wouldn't read this properly. So I got this spare belt here. Just went on eBay and found like somebody who sells them. Again, you could just buy a pack of different size belts and probably find one that's good, but I know this one should fit okay. And again, just turn it here just to make sure as I'm turning it, it's turning the motor, which it is. Now it's just a case of reassembling it. So first thing I want to do is clip them wires back under them two holders. Next thing, just plug it all in. So yeah, right now all I'm doing is the reverse of what I was doing previously. And again, at this stage here, I'm pretty sure this is going to fix it, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't. Looking at the actual disc head itself, there doesn't seem to be any damage or anything like that. And as I say, the person I bought it from, I think they kind of finished using it, put it in the loft, and that was it. Just checking the mechanism's good with one of the discs. So again, the other good thing, when I bought this, it came with a load of different discs. Again, I don't know whether any of these are going to work or not, but you never know. Hopefully, they're all good. Just reinserting the keyboard here. So again, these can be a little bit fiddly, and I don't know why this was such a great design in the 1980s, but Spectrum had it, Amstrad had it. You know, as I say, it seemed to be quite a common thing to have this kind of pressure fit all the time.
Here's what I found.
So now that's all back together. Just need to make sure everything's lining up properly. And again, just making sure that cable's sitting in the right place so it's not all loose. So I'm going to get all my screws back in, bring the monitor over, and again, the way they've done this was quite clever, really. They've made it so there's no way you could plug the wrong power, because one's 5 volts and one's a 12 volts. Now the 5 volts is to power the computer, the 12 volts is to power the disk drive, I believe. So if I plug that one into there, and then, so that's the 12 volts plugged into the keyboard, and now this, I believe, is the 5 volts. I might have got that the wrong way around. So let's have a look. Okay, good. First things first, it all seems to work. Now again, I've never used a Amstrad disk drive before, so I'm just learning all the different things. So get Cat gives you the what's on the drive, and then you've got to type run and then whatever it's called. Sometimes it's spelled DISK, sometimes it's spelled DISC. So this is one of the games. I got Arkanoid. I'm not trying any joysticks at the moment. I just want to make sure this is running and it all looks good. Yeah, so have a quick game of this, just make sure this is working. Okay, and then a game that I've heard so much about but never played, only played the Commodore 64 version, but Outrun on the Amstrad. How bad could it be? So this is loading in real time here. Anyway, this drive looks good. I will see you on the next one. Now let's enjoy a lovely game of Outrun. Yes, I think I'm going to go back to my Commodore 64 version.